Now I see a microphone. Good day to everybody. Happy Thursday. Okay. Is the audio really there? Yes, audio's there. Okay. Good. How I muted that? Wonderful question. So, I have an iPhone 7 here with what we would call pretty typical problems with the audio IC. So let's go into voice memos. Now, it's not gray, but if you try to record, beep, recording failed. Why? No audio devices found. No, it's not going to be any better. The light is all over the place with this camera today. Wave micro mage repair. Welcome. So, let's go ahead and do a typical audio IC repair on this one. With all the fun jumpers that we possibly can. I opened it up already real quick in front of the client like I do pretty much all my devices to verify that it's not missing anything obvious. Because it has stickers on it. It's been to somebody else first. Took me a while to figure out what the wave was. I'm pretty sure that is an emoticon or something on Twitch? I don't know. Busy procrastinating. Can I reschedule? No. You can procrastinate here with me if you'd like. What are you procrastinating today? AU5189870777. Okay, let's see. I'm going to put the big desk cam on. Bloop. In my little box. I'm looking into things that make people uncomfortable. Sounds like something good to be procrastinated about, I guess. I'm gonna open it up the way that Cam wants me to always. So you can see what's going on here. Because Cam's not here yet. Oh, this takes the fancy dancy little Y screwdriver. Why they do this, I don't know. See what I did there? You like that? I've seen this bracket long screw damaged numerous times, more times than I care to admit. So let's, take the screws out of the right holes, line them up. So, mix them up. That's the easiest way. Never long screw something. Organize your screws. Oh, that standoff. Nope, I feel like that standoff tried to come off with that. Battery just, you load that off there with it. The standoff did come off with it. That's kind of bizarre. These screws are like barely in there. This is weird. So battery's disconnected. Let's take the screen out first. Of course, they changed screws to plus. No thank you. Nope. I don't want you to ring either phone. I did not apply for a loan, and I'm also not in the United States of America, so why are you calling me? Unplug that, unplug this, and unplug that. There we go. One removed screen. How low can you go? Low can you go? That's gonna come off in one. Almost came off in one piece. Good stuff. Original screen does not look like it has been changed out at any point in its life. That is wonderful news for me. Let's continue, shall we? Anything else? Let's see. Long screw damage, please no. Please no. That's way too high up there. Doesn't look like long screw. That's always a welcome sight. Nothing broken off. Looks like maybe somebody has been in here before and unplugged the battery. Huh. Interesante. These screws look right. Okay. Cool. On with it. One of these days my mom's gonna tune in. That'll be really fun. These headphones are like slowly sliding down on me. That bracket's removed. Let's pop the camera up, pop up this itty little connector up. I'm actually gonna use tweezers for that one. Not you though. Get my plus screwdriver. Pull this screw out. I always ask if it has a standoff. It does not have a standoff. So with my own two olives, goes there. The standoff doesn't have a screw, which is always funny. How many screwdrivers do you need for this? 3, 4, 4 at least. Okay. Yeah, these screws are like just barely floating in there. Back to Phillips. Guess that light's a little washy, isn't it? There we go. Sorry about that. Need to look up a little bit more often at my recording screen to see what you see, if it's good or not. Move all those screws down a little bit. One more screw, and this motherboard is free. I think. Nope, almost free. Free. Pop this up. One, two. Move those out of the way. Power flex up. SIM card little thingy out of the way. And motherboard right on out of there. Woo! New stickers! Excellent! Salute. Somebody just needs really loud. Here's a room over. So, wow. Gonna go ahead. They're going at. Stick that over there. And our audio IC is right there. You see it? Nope. Anything obvious with this that we should like catch now? Big microscope. Nope. Looking good. Beautiful. Okay. Kind of looks like an Intel, I guess? I don't know. Let's see. What do you think it is? It's smaller. I think on the one it's longer than the other. Well, no surprises. Okay. Audio IC time. I ask a series of questions because lithium batteries don't go poof for simply having a dusting of glycerin. For simply having a dusting of lithium salts. Are you concerned with puncturing batteries with those tweezers frequently? Are you more concerned with fully charged batteries and flat or dead batteries? Any interesting life experiences dashing the nearest door window for fire containment vessel? I've honestly tried to catch some batteries on fire for that exact reason. I've wanted to see them like explode. to make a video of it, show people like, oh yeah, bring it to us, don't worry about it, we won't do this to it. And like I had no luck. Like one time I got a battery to catch fire on purpose. I charged up fully. I took like outside and stabbed it with a pair of tweezers. No, I'm not worried about lithium batteries popping. I have not had one go up on me here yet either. And the MacBook Retinas that have the glued-in batteries, I would say are the most concerning of any, because you have to like cut underneath of them. But there's a technique for that as well, and like the tape underneath those is kind of like a foam barrier. I would say like the iMac screens that you can actually get a cutting tool in under there, plastic one is what I like to use, to separate those two levels, and the battery comes out easy enough. When I'm working around the batteries, I generally don't have any tools on them or touching them. And on iPads, I will, like let's say this is the iPad here, and this is the battery of it, and the motherboard's here. I'll generally try not to like switch hands above the battery, because, you know, if it falls, the tweezers will go into a battery and puncture it. So I use safety, common sense safety, I guess you could say, where if there's a way that I'm like, oh, you know, if I were to drop this, I'd be bad. I don't do that. I just make it so if I drop it, it won't be bad. Tweezers. And as for sticking and stabbing it, you can poke pretty hard into a battery without it actually puncturing any layers or any levels. As for evacuating, nope, never had any evacuations needed in our office due to batteries or anything for that matter. So I hope that answers your questions. I have not had a bad experience with it. I haven't ripped out a battery piece by piece, but no. Dead batteries, obviously, or extremely low-level batteries, have a lot lower risk of causing an issue, and most of the batteries that I am taking out have very diminished performance anyways, so they are not 100% capable batteries. They're going to have a lot less potential energy inside of them than is needed, which is probably why a lot of them haven't exploded when I tried to stab it to explode it. Those are like my beginning days. I haven't done that in a good year or so. So, good question though, I like it. Thanks. Let's not knock over my cup of coffee. Funny you asked that, because I'm actually charging up some lithium-ion batteries right next to where I am right now for a laptop. Where did that go? Where am I? Eyeball guys fell off. ¿Me araste uno? Este. Sale del piso. Yeah. Ahora caen. ¿Qué acá? Plip, plip, picho. ¿Dónde? Most people caen acá prácticamente. Y quizás hasta allá, no sé. Super raro. Most people think batteries go poof because the lithium is so redacted. But redacted? ¿Está? Ah, y en serio. Voy a moverme así un poco. Gracias, Ana. ¿Cómo pasa, Maya? Ah, okay. Yep. But what really happens is a dead short, and because there's almost zero resistance when it starts, there's a full charge. As the battery goes through the pierced points, simply boils electrolyte and reaches the flash point of the liquid. How many times have you expanded it, if ever? Explained it, if ever? Any interesting? No, I really haven't explained it, to be honest. People generally haven't really cared or haven't had any concerns about it. I don't know if it's just like a mentality thing down here. People are not aware of it. But no, you're absolutely right. One lithium-ion battery is like a really long sheet of some sort of a separating agent that has lithium doped materials on one side of it and then something else on the other side. I honestly don't remember all the chemistry of it. I've seen it a couple of times and was like, oh, that's super cool and neat, and briefly forgot about it. and like kind of kept the ideas of it. And yeah, what happens is that you perforate the battery, and you are literally, it's like one long piece that's wrapped around a little coil, shorting those two layers together, like a capacitor. And yeah, no, they will release all that energy instantly. That's a good thing about lithium-ion and lithium polymer, is that you can release a whole lot of energy out of these things. So, yep. How many times have you explained this? Yeah, that's pretty much it. And yeah, as you said, yep, flashpoint of liquid, and just like flashpoint of everything inside of it gets reached, and then poof, it'll go. Now, I have seen people taking apart lithium-ion batteries and like unraveling it and like touching it with their fingers, and it will like start to burn in their hands. Yep, exactly. Anode lithium separator saturated in electrolyte with carbon, the cathode, insulator, and repeat. I don't know if I'd say repeat. I would just say then that's wrapped up like 100, 200 times. So yeah, basically it is repeat. Never mind. So here's our audio IC. This guy right here. 33AS00105 SAA1Z V1645SG. That doesn't mean anything to us. Wrap. Yes. Oh, repeat. Wrap. Yep, exactly. Details. I was just picking on you. Don't worry about it. So we're going to stick our tweezers in about like this and lift. Because I still don't do the drop method. I'm surprised Cam isn't here telling me to do the drop method already. I do like using heat sinks. So we're going to use the heat sinks. Big old Paraguayan coins, and I'm gonna rotate this about. No, actually, there is fine. Go that or that way. You jumping on here with all your smart questions and stuff. What do you think this is? A YouTube channel? 380. I like. Oh, I'm not using this tip though. Off. Pretty hot. I'm going to use my small tip. Oh, I appreciate you asking questions. You like that sound? Get off of dirt. Thank you. I enjoy when people in chat speak up. Looking at the other 4 people watching right now. C, no, don't calibrate. Push the button too soon. Sleep. Not 490. We will do. Do I do it at 400? I do at 490. Okay, let's try that. See what that does. See if I still got it. Squishity squish. Goopity goop. Fluxity flux. Pin 1 is top left hand corner. A lot of people use the drop method. I don't know why. I haven't really had desire to change to the drop method yet. So, that's fine. Drop method is where you just grab the chip with your tweezers and lift up the whole board. And then when the board is hot enough, it falls away. I'm just constantly lifting up on the chip. Really? At 400 degrees? Feel like you should be coming already, huh? Come on, my little chip man. There we go. Okay. With the current uncomfortable things I am researching, it would not certain of YouTubers' future for its oh yeah, seriously. No, I'm really new into this whole YouTube streaming thing, and well, YouTube streaming thing. You're on Twitch watching me right now. I'm using Restream to Mixer, Twitch, and YouTube. YouTube is going weird. I don't know. Everything's going weird. We'll see what happens. So, this is a good looking lift. Hey, that pad came off completely. The bottom right one. That's odd. That normally does not happen for me. You can see this pad right here has a flat top on it. Those both have a flat top. That pretty much signifies that it just barely got to its temperature that it wanted to be, and it's good. So, what is that bottom chip? Let's take a look here. Or bottom chip, bottom pin. CXW 3.0. Let's see. Yes. Come on, ZXW, you can do it. You can open. I believe in you, internet. You got it. Our internet here is... oh. Bestissimo. Heavy. Sucks. Some days, especially when we have like 40 people here. Yeah, pretty full now. So this is an iPhone 7. We are going to switch over to the ZXW window. There we go. Still have audio. Yes. iPhone. Nope. Nope. None of that. Come on. iPhone 7. Is this Intel or Qualcomm? Intel. This is an Intel. Did they get better board view for Intel yet? That's the same on Intel and Qualcomm for this portion of the board. Okay, so it's an NC pad. This M12 is the pad that came off by itself. That is not connected to anything. Blurry. There we go, focus. We're going to be running a lot of jumpers on this one because there's been new things happening recently. So, our stereotypical C12 is what causes audio issues. So I'm going to do the C12, the F12, H12, J12, and... which one are you? The D12, the G12 jumper. How's that for a mess, huh? Oh, radio. Let's cool down a whole lot. Probably should have done that sooner, but audio IC, you can go there. Now we are going to clean this up, see what comes off. If anything. Ow. Oh, you're super hot already. Come on. TE, I don't want an error. Don't tell me my tip died. No? Plug you back in there. It's supposed to be 650. Come on now. There we go. Beautiful. Dirty tip. So let's go back to not an obnoxious flashing view. Big microscope. Any melty? Yep, you're melty. Gonna add some flux, and I'm actually going to hot air this a little bit because I know from experience that it is too cold to let me work on it now. All the ground pads are just gonna go glop together. Tim, I hope you're watching. This is the color of normal flux. What is up with your flux? It's just like, grosses me out. I'm going to crank this down to 200 degrees now because I don't want a lot of hot. Not a lot of hot. I just want it to, you know, keep the board at a nice floating warm temperature while I do this. And what is this? This is what is this? This is cleaning up the pads. So these up here I'm expecting might come off. Oh. I need more solder on this. Bigger glob to do the job. Why do I have this beautiful extractor and not have it turned on? Okay. Okay, so I see that pad already like flying around there. I'll show you a little bit more close up what I'm talking about in a second. And that battery is done charging. That means that battery pack, in theory, is good to go. Wonderful. You charged up 1,620 milliamp hours. 4.1 volts. Beautiful. Beautiful. This is the the hot dog that I was charging up. 4 cells, it wasn't charging anymore, and this cell was down to like 2.6 volts, something pretty low. The others were up at 3 point something, but it charged up with a decent amount of current. So, or milliamp hours I should say. And so I have a feeling that it's going to be fine. It just fell out of balance. Maybe it was off for too long. I don't know what. So, I was telling you about that pad right there that looks at a funny angle. This one. I'm going to poke it and it's going to move a lot. Ready? Poke, poke, poke. That's bad. That's our typical issue. None of these other pads seem like they're an issue, but we're going to do them all. Because warranties. I never want to see this phone again. And what's the best way to do that? Do the job really well. And, you know, if it's possible that it would have another problem with a similar issue, fix it now. Right? So, that's what we're going to do. I'm still not in the racing business of doing this as well, so I'm not going to be doing it as fast as some of those other really cool people on the internet that do them. So, well, there. Let's go ahead and clean this top piece of metal off a little bit. Because I'm going to stick a globe of solder there. I'd like to do more myself. All I have right now is a single Weller West 51 iron. I have that one too. Hey Cam, how you doing, buddy? And a Fluke 179 multimeter, and I have been fixing far more than what I think most other people would be comfortable with fixing. But sadly, I have more I can fix because I do not have access to such nice things as hot air or an oven. For example, I reflow SMD stuff in a pan full of sand. I saw a YouTube video on that recently. Isolated by tinfoil, not recommended, certainly not approved, but it works. Yeah, nope. That's perfectly fine. So I have a Weller WS51. I think that's the one. They have the 51D. That's the digital one, and they have the every time what about it, Kim? Every time I stream, you're gonna say get tempered glass. I have tempered glass. Come by with an iPad Pro or an iPad Air 2. Got you covered. I bought the smallest tip possible for the Weller that I had, and it worked pretty well. I think what I ended up doing was actually buying a couple of more itty bitty little ones and filing them down, which is a terrible idea because it exposes the nickel and the solder and everything. Todavía ya no pagan. Ay. Ok, voy a pagar por mi cuenta directo. Now you have a Hackerway 80. So I would file down the tip so I could really get the small like hook around a component, and the nickel would like be eaten away by the lead. Not really a good idea. I'm taking off the coating on those tips. It worked. I went through quite a few tips, but hey, it got me to where I am today. Multimeters are always wonderful. Did you say you had a 179? Nice. That's the exact same model I have. Great meter. Way overkill for what you'd be doing in this field, but you got it. You don't have to buy another one. That's absolutely amazing. Hey, Piernoff, how you doing, buddy? Nice of you to join in finally too, huh? I was just like hanging out in the bushes. You did some reballing today, Cam. Oh man. How did that go for you? Go well? So, Australian is what I'm going to call you because AU. Pace went under. Yeah, it did, didn't it? And try it out. See what you can do. See what kind of small things you'll have luck with for SMD. iPhones really specialized soldering iron, I would say, yes, and hot air. But for like MacBoard motherboards, that kind of stuff, you can get away with a Weller. As for a microscope, if that's an issue for you, I started with a like $15 one off AliExpress, the USB 200 magnification ones that's adjustable. It worked. I burnt the crap out of it because I had to get way too close to it all the time because the focal distance was like that. But hey, it worked. It worked for me. Yeah, big disposable lighter, a coil of copper housing wire to do a quick and dirty fix. I worked long enough. Good. Canadian. Hey, no names. Meh. It's easier for me to say like Cam or Piernoff or something like that, or AU518907. Okay, yep, numbers not my forte. So Cam, look at that C12 pat with ABC. Yes, C. Fuck. Oh man, the coffee. The coffee. I'm gonna drink more coffee. Get some more shakes going on here. Practice with the tools you got so that you know what you can do and be comfortable with it. And once you're ready to move up, buy some new tools and keep going. That would be my recommendation for you. So, micro jumper cables. This one right here. AU51. Hey! That makes it a lot easier to say, I don't know why. 51. Oh, 51. AU51. 51. I'm a little ADHD, can you tell? I'm crazy Canadian. There's a lot of crazy Canadians, though. That'd be too broad of a statement. You're doing audio IC as well? Nice. I'm just gonna go glob all the way down this thing. Okay. Don't wick. Easiest way. Why do you like to wick, Cam? I'm curious. It's because those other guys are wicking. You want to wick? Ooh. What do you mean don't wick? I don't wick. Well, okay. I don't wick VGA this small. Unless it's the CPU. Of us really sane? Nope. I'm the only sane person here. You're all crazy. That's what I say. I don't wick, what do I do? Yeah, I'll show you. Do it just like I do. That's what you do. Yeah, hot air station wick is what I do on iPhones. Yep. I am gonna leave them like that. Well, so you can see that they are somewhat consistent sized. They're all little domes. Fluffy little pillows, as Jester Jones likes to call them. You don't want one that's like a huge mountain. Of course not, because that is going to mess with what you're trying to do. Hot. Can you imagine that? Soldering iron is hot. Touch the tip of it. I feel like I should really prep this a little bit more. Come on. Flex. What about the IC that I have left over? Oh yeah, okay. No, I don't even like the IC. I get my leaded solder on there. Yeah, okay. I don't like ICs. I get my leaded soldering iron there, get really close to it, and call it good. Just going crazy on all these caps and stuff. So you see those little points there, Cam? You don't want that on your pads. I still like to scrape this one. I'm gonna come here. Wicking the IC, the board is easy to... Yeah, they're both easy to damage if you ask me. I have, like, yet to actually hurt an IC. There you are. Besides doing something like stupid. I'm gonna touch it just wrong and this pad's gonna come off. And by stupid, I mean I will, like, overheat it or gouge it with the tip or something like that. Oh, second time, keep in mind. Oh, that's pretty good. Wi-Fi IC, underfill, pain. Pretty sure it has some overfill on that, yeah. Okay, that's what practice is about. Just like all 51, I would practice. Which I'm probably preaching to the choir. Those are both ground, they suck. I'm gonna, I'll fix that later. You broke off, you piece of junk. Really? Can you see what I'm doing? Yes, you can see what I'm doing. But my stupid little wire just broke off. Tack again. That's silly. Sometime okay, so Wi-Fi IC. I think I have to admit that I wick the Wi-Fi pads. You got a pretty mouth. Thanks. Thanks for the follow. What am I doing? I'm fixing an iPhone 7 motherboard. This iPhone 7 has no audio, which is a pretty typical issue on the iPhone 7 models, where its deflection-based damage causes the audio IC to come off of the motherboard. Or break off the motherboard, I should say. So I'm running little jumpers underneath the IC, connecting it where it needs to go. Okay. Because this pad right here specifically is the one that will normally break always, and if I poke it, you can see it move just a little bit. That's our main issue. And my brain is like still trying to figure out what am I doing right now with this board, because like I didn't take enough of the coating off. Yeah, okay. You go there, just like that. Gonna be a little excessive, a little long. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do them all. Got like 8 jumpers to run on this stupid thing. I mean, on this wonderful creation. One. What's the goo? The goo is flux. It is a helper. Basically what it does is when it gets really hot, it turns into an acid, which in turn cleans the surrounding components, oxidation layers, and all that stuff, so that you get good connections, good solder joints. Cleaver that off of there. Did I get it? Nope. Did not get it. Ah, got it. Okay. Okay, one jumper. Well, thanks for stopping by. If the industry used leaded solder, again, if the different nation government gave permission to use leaded solder again, would flexing damage be completely mitigated for common use or only neglected by a significant percentage? You think, especially with now how we have components down to the microscopic level and more components being so in the future. And have a great day, Mr. Pretty Mouth. AU51. This, a certain case, I would say no. Leaded would have no difference from unleaded, and that is because this is actually damage to the motherboard. It's not bad solder, as it is. No, I'm not too tough at all. It's just my reading head is like still waking up apparently. This is not a cracked solder joint. This is actually the motherboard delaminating. Well, not delaminating, but the points, the traces on the motherboard are stuck to the lead, or stuck to the conductive material, which in this case by default is tin. That goes between the board and the IC. And the fact is, let me show you here. I saw Jesse Jones do this once, so I got it because I thought it would be a wonderful idea. Legos. Ha! So here's a larger IC, here's a small IC, there's another little small IC on this side of it, and here's the motherboard. The audio IC is a large IC. Over many, many times that it bends, doesn't have to bend a lot, just has to bend a little. Over and over again. You see how that side lifted up? The little chip is fine. The little chip on the other side is fine. They don't have like a large plane that they need to stay on. And with this, that leverage will actually like rip the little fine traces off of the motherboard and make a bad connection on it. So it's not really a leaded solder versus tin solder type of a deal. No, I did not. But it's for fun and education. They should be fine with that. So that's what's happening here, is that it's actually a physical, like, being glued together, ripping off type of a movement that's going on. Next. Ew, that looks ugly. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that off. I hope so. I really want to meet them. Took a long time to get him down here. I had to talk to him in, like, not in person, but I had to give him a good old phone call and talk to him and figure out how can I get my Legos down here? Because they wouldn't ship it to my freight forwarding box because liability issues and all that kind of stuff. Which is like how I receive personal items down here. Is I use a forwarding service that makes life much easier. Come on, there we go. That's huge. Maybe Lego Group would like to donate some more Legos to the cause. Hey, Candy Slayer, how you doing? I didn't even notice that was somebody else saying that. It's pretty funny. Okay. So next, Cam, did I decide that I was going to do the D? Yeah, I did. I did decide I was going to do the D next. I'm going to cut that solder off there. I don't need to, but okay. So next is going to be these two. This red one, D12 to G12. Because I just did the C12 and I learned that doing a D12 and going... What do I want to do? So I want to try to go around, or do I just want to go under the F12? I went over it last time. I don't know what I want to do. I think I'm going to try to wrap it around the capacitor. Let's see if that works. Cam mentioned that might be a good idea. And Cam is pretty bright sometimes, so we'll do that. Which means that is not enough micro jumpering. Not enough micro jumperage. I think that'll work though. Let's try. So 1, 2, 3, the fourth one, skip 2, and the next one. One, two, three, four. Fourth one, skip 2, and the next one. So this is the chip, or the pin right here. There we go. Now I read your message. AU51 in Discord. Okay. Is this gonna work? So it still has its insulative coating on it, which you will probably notice if you look closely. Gonna go ahead and stick it back there. Flolly-dolly-doll it. Just the right length to do this. Kind of. Can I pull it tighter? Pull it tighter. Poke you. See, this part of it right here kind of worries me, but not really. Okay. Stick. we go. Snippity snip. Oof. A little hard to pull. I'm gonna bend this guy a little bit away. There. While spot welding may not be suitable for, say, attaching capacitor, inductor, or resistor, definitely non-IC, or even the humble transistor, but would spot welding enameled wire be something worth exploring? For spot welding, you need conductiveness, so I don't think that it would work really well for enameled wire because you need to break through that enamel first to get your spot weld to go. And the idea is that your spot welder is going to be touching down on the conductive metal, and if you're spot welding two pieces of metal together, it's going to be going through those pieces of metal. So you need to break off the enamel on the top side of the wire as well as the bottom side of the wire. Then let the electricity go from your anode through the both sides of the wire through what you're spot welding it to, that then returns to ground. Doesn't sound very practical to me, but you know, if you have a big enough tip, you just kind of like smush it all over to that, and you have enough pressure, I'm sure it's possible. And I don't see why it wouldn't work unless, you know, if you like sand off your tips of enameled wire, yeah, that'd work too. Yeah, okay. Yes, that should be fine then, I think. I don't see a reason why it wouldn't be. Please, bro, you have an error 4014. What to do? What to fix? iPhone. For greening permanent bonds, yeah. Actually, I've seen a lot of spot welding applications happen in high temperature applications where solder wouldn't work. This is like normally on lamp housings. The wire that actually goes to the light socket for a higher wattage light bulb is spot welded on there, but that's just like a copper wire spot welded on. So, on to F12, and the reason that they use the copper wire to spot weld on there is because, well, it doesn't have that temperature like solder does. Even high melt wire, high melt solders can give issues not working well sometimes. Scrapey scrape. These are all my opinions, by the way. I haven't tried anything that we're really talking about. Just a disclaimer. Not a scientist. I'm a doctor. Not a doctor either. I feel like that should have scraped off by now. For specifically repair, not manufacturing. Have you seen spot welding for this micro? No, I have not seen spot welding for this, as well as at that point you are putting a lot of energy through a very small circuit that will probably kill components. I know we're talking like 2 volts or less for spot welding. But I personally would be very doubtful, and imagine what happens if you were to slip a little bit and you made a short. And by making a short, I mean like your spot welding tip that had energy on it, like hit a positive pin of another chip or something like that. Yeah, I would not recommend it. That sounds fancy. I'm not sure what it means, but it sounds theoretically sound. Okay, can I touch this without touching anything else? Yes is the answer to that. Yes. There we you go. Mars Bar, Alex Brooks. You're quoting people's fancy names and stuff that I don't know who they are, Cam. Am I on the microscope or am I showing you a chip? Okay, good, I'm on the microscope. So Cam, here's a, I don't know if it's a pro tip, but it's a Joe tip. Sometimes use your tweezers to stabilize your tip where it's going to go down. Get away with it. Get away with a lot doing that. Beautiful. How did I cut that off? Do you remember my last audio IC, how much of a mess it was? Did we say out of practice? Snippety clippity. Had somebody come by with a 2013 MacBook Pro today. Guess what problem it had? Man, I just like want to leave that whole glob of wires there for it. Come on, cut. Cut. There we go. Yeah, it should have been a cut. Felt deep. Microscopically deep. I'm just gonna do the bend. The bend, the bend. There we go. Off. Go ahead, separate you from the zapper. And only 2 more jumpers. Woo! I really like how that's sticking out there. Better, I guess. Okay. Excuse me. What is that? Oh, that's a fume extractor. Nice. Coffee? No. So Cam, as a reference right now, I'm using 550 degrees on this micro pencil. I'm liking it today. Feels pretty good. Feels pretty good. Come on, right about there. We're going to try to make these about the right length. Look how much that takes to heat up. There we go. About the right length means ballpark. Should be good enough. Got a little leaded solder on there. By a little, I mean a lot. Wipe it just a little. And should be a go for it. Should be easy here. Yeah, should be easy here. Infamous last words. Get back over there. One. No, I wasn't really tacked down. That's probably why it wasn't very happy. Oh, I like starting with new tips. And there we go, that's tacked down. 2. Okay. There we go. Done. And that is all of our jumpers. Flickety flick. Oh, have you heard of? I've heard of it. I hope it goes in the repair shop's favor. Because it's redonkulous. The idea that I should not be allowed to export my screens to China or send them over there somehow, get them fixed up, and then receive them back. I absolutely hate this idea that me as a third-party repair shop can have my things seized by customs and they'll just say, oh, well, we suspect this is falsified, so we're just going to destroy it and take it. Like, okay, so we have to prove that it's real. How is one question. What is the proof that we can show you that this is an authentic screen just with some things changed out on it? What is the percentage of an original screen that it can be? And, you know, Apple logos and intellectual property has been defaced off of these, so it's kind of like you go buy a falsified Gucci bag or something like that, but somebody like scraped off the Gucci logo. It's like, okay, well, it's a bag with their little, it looks like a Gucci bag, but if you look at it, it's like not Gucci. It's like scratched off. It's a dead product. Joxy, thanks for the pizza. I want some pizza today. So it's upsetting to me because I've had some of my stuff get stuck in customs here where I am locally, and they just like say, oh no, it's under suspicion of being falsified, so it's been taken. It's like, well, can you prove that it's not original? Like, obviously you can say that it isn't original and we don't think it is, so how about you show me that it is counterfeit? What are these tests to conform that it is not counterfeit? What is the quality issue that we're talking about here? What portion is the consumer going to be losing out on? Because if you go to a place that has an Apple logo in their window, intellectually you are imagining that this is an Apple store, or somebody that has the blessings of Apple to do business. And thanks for all the pizza, yum. So with that, it goes both ways. So if you have a part that has an Apple logo on it, it should meet Apple standards, or you would expect that this is the high quality of the brand that you're purchasing, that this business Apple has built. Wonderful, no issues with that. If it is a counterfeit shit screen that has an Apple logo slapped on it, or a battery, or a part, or anything like that that has intellectual property infringements, yes, get rid of it. Counterfeit. Plug it in and say, hey, look, this does not conform to our standards. These are counterfeit devices. These have no means of having a logo on them of ours. They're not by a supplier that we approve or to a person that we approve. All of those things happened. Not just one or the other happened. Okay, great. Counterfeit. Take them, seize them, sue the guy. If it is on the other hand, where you're buying legit batteries pulled out of MacBooks or iPhones, that it's just somebody in China, their job is to go buy iPhones and disassemble them and sell them off for parts, because iPhone X screen original new you can sell for $300. How much does an iPhone X cost? More than $300. But so $300 for a screen, $300 for a motherboard, $100 for a battery. I don't know. Let's say that you come up and you sell every little component out of that phone for $1,500 when an iPhone X now costs $1,000. That guy just made $500. That's his job. That's his living. That's what he does. This is an original Apple part. It was taken out of an iPhone to be sold as an original part. Why is that falsified? What is the standard to show that this is falsified? This isn't falsified. This is real. This is original. So much gray area in there. There's so many cases where it is a legit part and it's authentic, but it's seized and claimed counterfeit because you're not one of the special people that have a name on a list somewhere. So that needs to be really looked into and really fought over. And you know what? Apple sells parts. Great. Fine. I would love to be able to buy an iPhone X screen from Apple with their seal of approval saying it's passed all of their quality control tests. The homogeneous of the white is perfect. All the colors are great. No dead pixels. It has... It's Apple. Perfect. I would pay the $300 for that screen instead of trying to find a disassembled iPhone that, you know, they took it apart to sell. I'd much rather pay the $300 to Apple to get that part that is guaranteed to be good every single time instead of hoping that this guy took a screen outright from a screen. From a phone. Yeah, there's a lot of people on the network. I'm pretty much the only person that's uploading. But I would not be surprised if, because it's red right now, but it says I'm uploading at 6 meg per second, even though I'm only set to upload at 3 meg per second. So that might be why. That might be my poor little vanilla computer too. I'm doing all this on a very old laptop. So, you can refresh now. I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. We'll hope... I'm green again now, so this is good. Let's try to clean this without taking off all those jumpers. I didn't even see anyone mention screen freezing. So those are my opinions on it. Let me know when you're back, and I'll go off on a little bit more detail too about one aspect of it that's surprising down here, where I am locally. About images, intellectual properties. Yep, those look good, those look good. That ground pad up there has way too much solder on it. Let's heat that up and pull that off. Oh, weird. So, down here, I'm in Paraguay, South America. There are official Apple representatives, and they put a pretty bad name out for people. People prefer to come here and spend a little bit more money with me than they could actually from the AASP to get quality and time. So how does that play into it when the Apple logo, you know, like the official Apple people are giving a bad experience? You has refreshed. Too late. I explained everything. I want more airflow on this. So down here, I'm in Paraguay. And the problem is that a lot of these actual AASP, Apple Authorized Service Providers, give a bad experience to the clients. Where I give a very good experience to all the clients, and they're all very happy. I can say the word all. Because because that's like what's actually really important for us is quality, service, good experiences, people leaving smiling. Oh, Cam, are you here still? Back to buffering again. Oh, double take now. Oof. Yeah, my internet is all over the place right now. I'm sad. This is generally why I like to stream in the evening, by the way, is that there's nobody else in the office. Cam, you're back. Yes. Put some food in the oven. Did you put pasta in a cup in the oven? So we're gonna stick a little flux down here. I don't need to right now because now we're gonna reball an IC. But you see all those pads, Cam? Except for that one up there. They're consistent shiny. There's a couple up here, like, even if you're putting jumpers down, they're going to be sticking up, so you can't wick those jumpers. So, yeah, a little buffer. Literally starving. Literally. Okay. I need my stencils. Oh, big selfie cam, you get to see my butt. Mute. Ooh, wraps. I really want to Caesar wrap. I love Caesar wraps. iPhone 7. What did you think of my answer, AU51? So how do I wick this side? Because those balls do not look good at all. 550 degrees. Did you go over those with lead? I did on the motherboard, not these yet. These are actually going to get destroyed. So, Lego. Lego. I don't know why I'm using the sticky flux for this big microscope. Are you in anticipation access to Starlink, Elon Musk's satellite communication network he's building now on the various nations trying to... What? Why? Why are they complaining about it? I would like to subscribe to my book. Oh no. Books. Yeah, that would be fun. I have not been up to date with Elon Musk's Starlink. I did see something about him having a successful satellite launch, and I think that is super awesome. So yeah, big old glob on there, Cam. Everything just, like, all the pads kind of went way down. There we go. That's that. Actually, I'm going to rotate it a little, get these. Yes, okay. Kester. Yeah, Kester. I have had this roll. Oop. Is this any better? I've had this roll of Kester solder since high school. Not high school, college.